These things are so much fun. Hey everyone, welcome back to Saturday Morning Toy Tunes, the weekly live stream here on my channel, in which we all gather around the modern day campfires of our iPhone screens and computer monitors and talk about things that happened in the week in geek. Today, we should have a lot to talk about because it's been 3 weeks since I've had a live stream, and I'm happy to be back. I took some time off. Mental health stuff, maybe? Yeah, just needed to take a break from some 6 scale stuff. Also, I took a little bit of a time off of work this week, so I have some catching up to do today. So this is going to have to be a relatively short stream so that I can get back to it. Yeah, there's lots to do. I'm packed up. I'm just full of boxes of figures that are being sent back beside each other. And there's even more to pack up, so I'll be doing that all day. Which kind of sucks. I can't believe I volunteered to do that because this is the first glorious day that we've had here in the Midwest in a long, long time. I think the high is going to be like 75 today, maybe less. I haven't checked the weather this morning. That may have changed as weather often does. Oh, crap. Mic may be off. That sucks. Thanks, AJ. Let me check this. This is going to be fun. What I select is okay. No. So you can, wait a minute. So you can hear me, but, right? Let's check this. Okay, can you hear me at all? Somebody comment. So it's just really quiet, or? Oh, I know what that is. Okay. It's using a different microphone. So let me see if I can fix that here. Oh yeah, it's using the internal microphone. So let's try this. That better? Check now. Hey, yeah, that sounds good. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was, I had to do some having some computer issues earlier in the week, like yesterday or the day before, and yeah, thank you guys. All right, glad we got that settled. Anyway, yeah, I was having some computer issues, some performance issues in Premiere, so in an effort to try to improve the performance of my computer, I basically unplugged all the peripherals, including the audio and the microphone. And I guess that when I did that, it probably defaulted to the built-in microphone on the computer, and it didn't. Thanks, Bitter Troll. Yeah, and it didn't reset itself. Naturally, I should have thought of that. But let that be a lesson. Always check your settings before you go live. All right, guys. So I'm assuming that you caught all that, but just not as it didn't resonate nearly as well as it typically does. All right, thanks for letting me know, and I'm glad that we got that corrected. Moving right along. Where was I? Yeah. Got to work today, so it's got to be short. Let that be the end of it. I want to say hi to everybody who was able to join us. Thank you, Bad Wolf. Wow, look at all the comments already. This is really a fast-moving. 23 people this early in the stream is actually fairly unusual. So, Bitter Troll is first out of the gate with an appropriate comment. Yeah. I wonder if I'll get. I don't think I'll get a copyright strike for using that spaceman from Lego, right? Who knows? Looks like Terry raided the Target toy aisle. I did indeed raid the Target toy aisle. Actually, the end caps. Because I don't actively go down the toy aisles. But they have, when I'm walking to another department, usually it's, I don't know, menswear or something like that. Or I go into menswear to buy underwear. And I walk by on my way, and yeah, things like that happen. But yeah, got those three. It's exciting. I'm gonna have a good time with these. I can't wait to open these and show them to you all. Steve Narr is here as well. What's up, my friend? How are things in Virginia Beach? Is it hot there still? Is it ever hot there? You're on the beach. Anyway, Linda's here. What's up, Linda? Welcome. No socks were purchased at this time as normal. True, true. I do need to consider getting some new socks, though. So, especially with the cooler weather coming. My ankles, my short socks, my ankle socks, my summer socks, got plenty of those. But the taller socks, the longer socks, yeah, those are getting a little long in the tooth. It's definitely time to update. Luis is here. What's up? Hope you brought your enthusiasm. I'm actually kind of tired today. It was one of being a late night last night. So I could use an enthusiasm boost from everybody in the crowd. If you do that for me, that'd be great. Enthusiasm by proxy. Primetime Reviews is checking in from Rhode Island. One of God, I know so many people from Rhode Island. I feel like I know half the state, which is feasible. Bad Wolf Media is here and he was with me last night, which was a great time. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I always wanted to see ELO, but never really felt the urge to, go out of my way to do so. But I'm so delighted with it, and Mike has taken me to some great shows, man. He's dragged me to see Eagles. He's with Steely Dan. He dragged me to see Eric Clapton. And so many other great shows, and I really appreciate you for that, brother. Thank you so much. Keith Lee is here. Dude. Man. Yeah, I'm still processing that as well. So I can't even imagine how you must feel. For those of you who don't know, Keith and Allie Lee lost their beloved dog, Phoebe. That little Yorkie poo that I loved so much that visited me a time or two. Yeah, I'm going to miss that girl. Yeah, I really was looking forward to having a few more vacay stays with me while you guys were away. And I'm really sorry she was taken from you so early. You should have had much more time with her. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I'm thinking about you. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. And when you get yourself a successor to that little pooch, the offer still stands. I will take care of whatever dog you wind up getting, and I hope you do it soon. Best way to honor your dog, I think, is to get another dog. Think about you guys, yeah. See, everybody's, a lot of love being sent out. Simo's here. What's up, John? Haven't heard from you in a while. Welcome aboard. I'm wondering if you're even still here. Good God, I have cotton mouth today. It's insane. Maybe I should take off that label on the bottom. It's kind of weird, right? Too much effort. And we are live. John Galgano's here. What's up, John? Good to see you. It's a Star Wars show. You should be here. AJ Agrusa has joined us. What's up, dude? How's your beard doing? Does it still look like that? Has it gotten longer? Have you trimmed it back up? I'm thinking about growing mine longer again. I don't know. Sound off. What do you think? I went back and watched an older video. It just popped up in my own YouTube feed, my homepage or whatever. It was like recommended for you, and it was my own video. And it was one of the really early ones when the whole point of this whole thing was something to do while my hair dried and I was icing my knee down. Like my hair was pulled back with a band and everything, and it was clearly still drying. And man, this show has come a long way. Wow, that was rough to watch. But I think it's important to go back and look at some of your earlier stuff, just to highlight how far in my case, how far I've come as a presenter, I guess, on a live stream. Yeah, I didn't think I was all that good at it, and I wasn't. And the jury's still out on how good I actually am at doing this. But I get a lot of fine compliments, and I appreciate that. Oh, there's Luis Escavilla, another enthusiastic member of the Poser Posse. What's up, dude? BDP, the notorious BDP, is in the house, has joined us today. What's up, man? Kind of reminds me I need to go to if there's ever another WWE taping here, I need to go to that as well. Have a good time at those shows. Really good time. Everybody's saying hi. I feel like you guys missed each other. I know that Paulie did a show last week, so I get you guys have other outlets, other places where you can gather. So yeah. Let's see, who am I missing here? I just don't want to skip by anybody. Bitter Troll I know is here. What's up, dude? Desmond Hassing is here. Dr. Hassing, as is Laura Quiles. we've gotten to the sound, so that's good news because we are not too far behind in the comments. There we go. Oh, I'm reading the descriptions of what it sounds like, and these are actually really fun. Quiet and kind of echoey, like you're far away or in a tunnel. Like the mic is at the other end of the cave you're in. Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad. There we go. Okay, cool. Catch up, catch up. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. The Aztec 010 is here. Awesome. Welcome. Marlon Braswell is here. Good to see you. This is so you. This is so you. Oh, I'm sure that's why. I'm going to have to get a new computer soon, which my soon-to-be ex-wife and I got a pretty healthy refund. But I'm going to have to wrestle her for it because it goes into her account, so we have to decide how that's going to be split. But hopefully it's enough that I can get myself a new machine. I'm going to try to talk Sideshow into sending me a monitor. That would be nice. Laura, you're not wrong here, am I right? It seems like... I feel like, and maybe this is because of the waves that these guys are released in, but like I got there and there were like 6 of these on the shelf. And I feel like when you go back, and this is why I don't actually actively go into the toy aisles, because I'm tired of being disappointed. And that's why I often miss things as well. But I feel like with Target, they get laser focused on like 2 or 3 ships from this line, and then that's all you see on their shelf for like months, or at the very least many, many weeks. And I don't know, that just gets frustrating. I guess I'm just being lazy. I mean, how many steps does it take to actually take you out of your way when you're shopping for your liquid plumber or whatever? And just to check, just to be on the safe side. Yeah. Did you score the Phantom? Oh yeah, actually somebody scored me a Phantom. Our very own Harold Green, Commander Green, found a Phantom for me and picked it up. We've got to iron out the whole shipping details. He's got my address, but I need to send him money and find out how much it's going to cost. But we'll work that out. Maybe we'll have that on next week's show. Harold, are you watching? Let's make that happen. I have to test a theory. What time did you get back to the house last night? Well, there are 2 possible answers to that question. I should have gotten back to the house at about, I don't know, what time did the concert let out? Let's say it let out at 11. Given the walk back, getting in my car, fighting traffic, I probably should have gotten back by about 11:30, 11:45, somewhere in there. But I wound up not getting back until 1:30, perhaps later. Yeah, because I had that amazing time with those 2 people that I met up with after the show. Did I talk about that? I did that thing earlier, but in top of the microphone issue, I also did that thing where I thought that I started the stream and I didn't. So I talked for about 4 minutes before I caught on to the fact that I wasn't actually live yet. And I think I might have mentioned that. Or maybe it's just because I just told my next door neighbor about it while we were outside. Yeah, that's a long story. But I ran into some people last night. They were just an amazing time. Wound up being the ex-wife and son of a guy that I knew back in my days working at the Irish pub that we were hanging out in last night after the show. And they were a delightful couple of people to talk to last night. I had such a great time catching up with them. And it's not even really catching up because I never got to know her. And the last time I saw him, I remember his dad bringing him into the restaurant periodically. The last time I saw the kid, who's now like 35, I want to say he was like 10 years old. Anyway, great times. Providence was shining. I really wish I'd gotten their contact info. If you're watching this, I know that, oh God, Brett? God, now I can't even remember their names. Whatever. But I know that he has my YouTube channel, so maybe you're watching this. And if you are, find a way to message me and remind me of your names if I've got them wrong. And yeah, let's stay in touch, because I really enjoyed you guys last night. You were a lot of fun to talk to, and it was a great night. Gina B Collecting, it is always delightful to find you here in the chats in this live stream. So welcome aboard. Did you say you saw Eagles? Yes, I did see the Eagles, thanks to Mike at Bad Wolf Media with Steely Dan, and was blown away by how much I enjoyed it. In fact, I almost backed out. I almost didn't go, and it wound up being one of the best shows that I've ever seen. When you're at an Eagles show and you look down on that stage and see them all lined up, harmonizing together, and you're like, oh my god, there are so many icons on this stage right now. And in this case, son of an icon. The first song that they did was Take It Easy, and it was Glenn Frey's son who was doing the vocals for it. And I'm like, I remember when it started, I was like, Glenn Frey looks damn good for his age. And I wound up being his kid. Yeah, but yeah, great show. Great show. Yeah, is that the consensus? Everything. We can hang at Paul's show, your show, other people's shows. These people and you are all my friends. I will take every chance I can get to see them. Yeah, it's really interesting the way that this happened. And by the way, I didn't mean to bypass you, Collector Joey. Welcome aboard. Good to have you here. But getting back to this, it's really interesting. I want to say that like a decade ago, I would have frowned on this whole dynamic, and probably scoffed at somebody who actually did it on a regular basis. But no, I get a lot out of this. It's fun to hang out with the people, especially the ones who were regulars on Unsealed and Revealed when that was still a thing, the sideshow. And this just kind of became an outlet for me to just continue interacting with you all, because it was that show was a lot of fun, and the way that we were able to just develop a community around that was great, and I hated to see it go, so I'm glad that it kind of survives in some way through this. Only thing that's missing is producer Alan and Paul and Guy and the whole team. Wow, we should totally do a reunion on this live stream. I need to talk to those guys. I also need to find out if Sideshow's cool with it. That might be another thing. I was actually cautioned to be careful doing this live stream. Remember all the early shows, I was just like, I'm not here to talk about work. Yeah, I can't talk about it. I can't answer that question. And I still can't, but I'm no longer as paranoid about it. Yeah, the last 2 times Paul did Saturday shows, he did them while I was at concerts. That jerk. Paul, if you're watching, I love you. I miss you. Yeah, I can't believe we haven't interacted at all in a while. I haven't texted him or anything for an age. You ruin it for everybody. Get your butt to work so we can all have a Paul live stream. Just kidding, I probably wouldn't tune in anyway. Yeah, I have a similar issue. Also, the asymmetry of my beard there's some epic asymmetry going on, and I notice it when I watch the videos. I feel like this is like the best length. Clearly, I didn't do anything with it. I've got bed beard. I feel like this is the best length for my beard. It seems like once it goes longer than this, then I think it's this side. No, it's this side. This side actually is not nearly as thick, especially right here, under here. So I have to like really cheat with my trimming. Anyway, that's today's Beard Talk segment out of the way. Hey! Still don't get to see those on... Get on that, StreamYard. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Oh yeah? I wrestle with the idea of getting a laptop because I really need this monitor. But it would be kind of nice. I'm here all the time. And sometimes that gets old. But it would be kind of nice to be able to shoot the footage for, say, a poser short, and then put it on a laptop and go to a coffee shop or to a restaurant, pub, whatever, and edit my video there. Not sure how Sideshow would feel about me editing at a bar, but yeah, something to think about, right? Oh, nice, nice. I love kitties. I'm allergic, mildly, so I don't keep them here. I forgot about the Hot Wheels ships. Yeah. Oh, shut up, really? I'm so glad that I didn't take a ride from you back to Maggie's. Yeah, you should maybe consider parking not parking in the garage. Yeah, it just seems like such a hassle. I remember the last time I caught a ride with you out of a parking garage. It did take a long time. You'd save yourself a ton of time. You'd get home a lot sooner, if that's the case, if that's typical. Maz's Toy Box is here. What's up, Maz? And there we go. We should have known you 10 years ago. Same, bro, same. I'll do a show from a pub. Yeah, that just sounds like a hot mess. It does, no. I do remember that back in the day that I was doing stuff with Jetta Patrol, and I'm trying to remember the name of his YouTube channel, but I think he's changed it too. But fuck. Back when I was doing stuff with those guys, we actually tried filming a show at a coffee shop, and it just didn't work. I mean, we didn't really have the proper hardware for it. I can't even remember what mics we were using. I picked up a no, I picked up that was for something else. Anyway, definitely be a funny hot mess. Who's this? I don't know why we're on St. Louis well enough to know where to park. 3 blocks away on Market Street, there's typically parking right by the stadium on Market Street. Again, it's a walk. It's a hike. It would take you, like, I don't know, 10 minutes to walk it. And with all your gear, that might be a hassle. So maybe that's not such a good idea. But, oh, Simo remembers Java Jawa Jaw. Java Jawa Jaw, which actually is one word, not separated by commas. But it's good that you broke it down for people who aren't aware of it. But Java Jawa Jaw was a blast. And that's kind of what started all this for me. I had never considered doing anything like this until Java Jawa Jaw. I was making videos for YouTube, but I don't think I was really ever putting myself on screen apart from what I was doing for How to Be a Poser. Low-key Collector's here too. I didn't mean to breeze by you there, brother. Let's open some shit. Scooch. What's first? Well, since this is the newest, maybe we should just open up Bo-katan's Gauntlet, because I'm really excited about this. I think the Gauntlet is just... I don't even need to have the table open. The Gauntlet is just exciting. First of all, it does come with a really mini, tiny Bo-katan figure. And I really want to find a way to incorporate this in the Detolf display with the Bo-katan 6-scale figure and Axwos and Casca Reeves. But that may be a bit of a mess. Can't put this back together. Let's rip it. Rib it and rip it. Who caught that reference? It's kind of a deep dive, and it's actually hater bait. That's a clue for you right there. It was... Oh, I've got a message. Who's it from? Probably something about the microphone. Yeah. Thank you, Christopher. You're the man. Just drop that. Oh well. Okay, now comes the delicate part, because the client... First of all, let's go ahead and get another look at this. Actually, I'll just take it out. These little minifigs are the kind of thing that I will inevitably lose. It's true. These little minifigs are just kind of really cool. I know that Paul really loves them. They're cool. I really got to trim my nails, I know. But they're also, I don't know, easily lost. And I want to say that they're articulated. We'll find out if this one breaks when I try to bend the legs. Because it needs to... Yeah, there we go. Right? I mean, this is the first time I've actually articulated one. I don't even take them out of the box usually. This might be the first time that I've done that. Did I put the X-Wing pilot in his X-Wing? I did, so this isn't the first time. I'm such a liar. Yeah, because that thing opens up and... There we go. There's landing gear too, so you can display it on the ground as foils in attack position and or not. Great ship. Great ship. The X-Wing is so iconic. It's going to break my heart to sell mine. Probably why I haven't done it yet. Yeah, what's the deal on that? How do they do that? they've got to have like serious magnifiers on those really awesome goggles that I've seen. Like, Bernardo Esquivel at Sideshow, Bernie, the paint guy. You've probably seen his videos if you do that much of a deep dive into Sideshow's YouTube channel. All right, cool. God, these are really, really hard to get out of here. Figure Craft is here. What's up, dude? The Bo-katan shuttle, huh? I'm trying to remember what that is. What type of shuttle is it? Okay. Now this is where the fun begins. And here's the thing, I don't know for sure if how accurate this paint is. I don't remember it being these colors. I didn't pull up any of the episodes with this gauntlet in there. But let's go ahead and get that up here so that everybody can admire it closely. But look at all the detail on it. And I'm sure Paul's probably done these on his show already. So if you've all seen this, just bear with me. It'll all be over soon. Which is kind of my take on life, really, when you think about it. Yeah. So yeah, it does this. Does it rotate is the real question. No. Because the gauntlet actually can spin these wings around the cockpit and the fuselage. But I don't think that... And again, I don't want to break my new toy. But there's plenty of... Oh, wait, maybe it does. It acts like it wants to. When in doubt, check the instructions. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh well. So you just have to test it. But the gauntlet's wings also rotate on this axis. Nice. So you can put it into landing position and pop out this elusive landing gear. There we go. It's always like it's almost like a little game. Okay, this is the other landing gear. Okay, so it's got the front landing gear. So there you have it. You can see that it's that's how it would react in the landing position in landing mode. That might be fun to display it like that. Yeah. Right. God, why is anybody even watching this show? Yeah, more on that in a minute. Actually, I might as well just go ahead and interrupt right now, but I was reading... There was a guy who was on Threads, the meta version of X, formerly Twitter, that did a deep dive into the statistics of Rotten Tomatoes, which is the platform of choice for toxic fanboys. Yeah, I said it. Come at me. The platform of choice for toxic fanboys and haters of all things woke. But for their review bombing. And he talks about how he shows when the review bombing began on the Acolyte. And also, actually, he actually used these stats from a different film, from a film called Acolyte. And these idiots, there were like 650 reviews, one-star reviews from people on this movie Acolyte that started about the time that the Acolyte became a show. These idiots were so stupid that they didn't even twig to the fact that they were on the wrong page when they were review bombing it. So they review bombed a perfectly innocent movie. Not that the movie's any more innocent than the show, but. And I've never seen the movie, so I have no idea what kind of quality Acolyte is. But I might dive into it. I might not. I mean, I probably just don't care. But the consequences of review bombing make and I've heard it say that Rotten Tomatoes is broken because of this system. But what Rotten Tomatoes rating system allows toxic fanboys to do. I'm just going to keep saying that phrase because they hate it so much. Is it allows them to leaving all those 1-star reviews. People actually read those reviews, and they rely on those reviews to decide whether or not they're going to watch a show. And when you leave all those negative 1-star reviews, people look at that. And that could sway them in one direction or another. Make them decide, well, okay, no, this show's definitely not worth watching. I'm not going to waste my time. Because people's free time, it's a variable. It varies from person to person, obviously. And so you have to be careful about what you watch. You have to curate your entertainment. And if a bunch of people are leaving 1-star reviews for a Star Wars show, even if you do like say passively or even really aggressively love Star Wars, and you read all those reviews and you're just like, no, there are other things that I want to watch that are getting nothing but 4- and 5-star reviews, so I'll just watch that instead. So yeah, it adversely affects the viewership of a show. So if numbers are down to some extent, you can count on the numbers being down because of the system at Rotten Tomatoes, because people go there looking for opinions of other viewers, and they're like, no, they just walk away. They just walk away. And I'm like, I just can't even deal. It makes me angry. I've been dealing with, in fact, last week's show, or maybe the week before that, I can't remember which one. The reason I didn't go live is because I'd been paying such close attention to all this drama surrounding the Acolyte that I couldn't deal. I was just like, I got to take a break. I know that everybody here is passionate and positive, and I encourage that and I appreciate that. So it's not like I was going to go onto my live stream and have to experience toxicity. But at the same time, I just didn't want to think about pop culture at all. I just needed to take a break from it. But yeah, it's from what I understand, viewership on The Acolyte was actually pretty damn good. It just could have been better. And has anybody actually heard? I'm not even paying attention to it. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to step back. This scenario that I talked about, where people don't watch The Acolyte because of the negative reviews, there's evidence of it all over Threads. Every time I open up Threads, at least one post in my feed is from somebody who says, yeah, I wasn't going to watch The Acolyte because of all the negative reviews surrounding it, but I just started watching it. I'm like, why are people hating this show? And I'm on my 3rd rewatch of it right now, and it legitimately gets better and better. The more you watch it, the more likely you are to pay attention to the minutia, to the little things in there. And I've been doing that. I've been catching things that I didn't catch before. The subtle look that when Soul is training the Padawans, the younglings, with their lightsabers. I guess it is. No, it's younglings. Not with lightsabers. He's training them in meditation, and the one starts talking about a big fire. And when you watch that episode, that's in the first episode. When you see that the first time, you don't recognize the relevance of that. But after you've seen the whole show, then you go back and watch that, and you hear the child, the youngling, talk about that, and then you look at the actor's performance, his silent performance as she's talking about this. It makes it way more relevant. And there are countless examples that I've picked up on in this 3rd rewatch of the series. That there are countless examples of that, just little tiny things in the actor's silent performance and the looks on their faces, that just minor reactions to something that's said by somebody else. And it's great stuff to watch. So if you haven't watched it a second time, if you watched it a first time and were underwhelmed, I encourage you to give it another go and just really watch it. There's that first watch where you just want to let it all wash over you and you want to have the experience. And with a lot of Star Wars stuff, you can just do that because that's the ride, right? But Acolyte is similar to Andor in that it's more complex of a storytelling vehicle. In fact, I would say the way they told that story is actually more complex than the way they've told the story in Andor thus far. And it's tough when you're actually asked to focus on something and pick up on those little minutia. It can be tough, especially if you're distracted by your phone or if you've been going through a bottle of wine while you're watching it. You might just miss things like that. Or if your dog or cat is pestering you for attention, or your kids. But yeah, give it another go, because I guarantee your second time around will be much more satisfying than your first. And if you can, participate in that hashtag renew the Acolyte thing, because apparently they do pay attention to what people say online, which they really shouldn't do. They should just concentrate on making good stuff. Yeah. I didn't have room for that. It's great though, right? What a great toy. Is my monitor green or is it just me? I just feel like I look really cool and not in that good way. Let's see if we got some comments here. Oh, we got a question. But have you ever mixed scales to your display or for photography? For my display, yes. My display in my bedroom, on top of my desktops, I have all manner of scales. From this scale to all the way up to half scale. I've got a half scale bust of Commander Cody up there. Premium formats, quarter scales, 6 scale figures. I've got all kinds of scales up there. Other times I would go up to like life-size helmets, full scale helmets, and mix those in with like my display on my desk. That was a lot of fun. I think it can be really attractive. It kind of reminds me of the vibe that I get from a movie poster. How you'll have like a dominant Darth Vader in the background with Luke Skywalker and Leia in the front, they're a bit smaller. Han and Chewie are even smaller, and the droids are just infinitesimally small compared to everybody else. Who was it? I think it was Trevor Grove who did a photograph using different scaled figures in a life-size helmet of Vader. I think it was the Hasbro helmet, and he recreated that iconic Star Wars A New Hope movie poster, the original one with the white border and everything. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I've longed to do something like that for a really long time. In fact, he also did a photo recreating that Ralph McQuarrie painting of Luke getting out of his snowspeeder with an oncoming AT-AT, coming at him at like this angle. Well, this angle from me, but from you guys, I guess it would be the opposite angle. The AT-AT was coming this way, Luke is coming out this way. And that was glorious as well. He actually stole my thunder on that one. I was going to do that one. But I hadn't taken the time to work out the minutia. He took the time. He got the win. Good score. Oh, did you? That's too bad. That's too bad, but there's only room for so much, right? I'm finding that out right now. That is wise. That is wise. All right, scrolling back down. The cockpit does rotate. Okay, so we're gonna try that really quick. Let's get this. Let's focus on what we came here for. Yeah, see, I'm still a little bit heated thinking about that Acolyte bullshit. I'm just mad. It's so tight. Let's see. Oh my god, it does. It does rotate. That is so rad. So you can legitimately turn it like half-mast and fly it like this. Or if you want to be really creative, just, That's bitchin'. I might incorporate that when I do the shot, because there's... Okay. Another topic of conversation. Next Friday, there is a gallery show opening, whatever you want to call those, reception at Webster University, my alma mater, where this year's featured alumni, photography alumnus, her show will be debuting. I don't even know what it is, what her focus is. So I guess I'll just be surprised when I go there. But next week I'm going to that. And it's got me thinking, because that means that we are now only 1 year away, almost to the day, from my own gallery show next year, when I'm going to be the featured alumnus from Webster University at their on-campus gallery. And it's a great gallery. I can't believe my stuff's going to be displayed there. It's just like, ugh. But I need to curate some of my work. I can't remember exactly how many photos that I need to have, but I want to say it's like 40 or 50, or yeah, maybe even more. I'm not sure. And I've got that covered already, but I want some new stuff. So I'm thinking about doing some things using these Micro Galaxy Squadron ships and the 6 scale figures. So, and one of the things that I would like to do is feature some Mandalorians with this, and maybe some other Micro Galaxy Squadron ships flying around in the background. Basically, the kind of shit that our own Commander Green likes to do with his photography. I'm watching that stuff. I'm seeing people do it, and it looks killer. And I have to work out how to do it. There's going to be some experimentation. There might be some failures early on, but yeah, I'm going to make it happen. Okay. I don't even know what it's about. I just know that it exists and that they accidentally review bombed it because they're just dumb. They may even be bots. They might be. I know that they're finding that there's. We all know about Russian hacking and everything like that, and manipulation in politics and finances and stuff. But one of the things that the Russian, I don't even know what sort of a umbrella term to give to them, the people that do this. But one of the things, cyber operations, maybe, I don't know. One of the things that they do is they legitimately go into social media accounts with fake accounts and try to get people riled up. Try to pit people against each other. They're legitimately trying to get the citizens of the United States, and probably other countries as well, to polarize and butt heads with each other. They want that unrest. It's so messed up. It's so messed up. But it's actually happening in pop culture. You got to watch out for this stuff, man. It's insane. I say anyone can trust Rotten Tomatoes anymore. I don't. Yeah, I go straight to Metacritic for anything. That's all that I look at. 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Who cares? I don't know. Yeah, well, you know, on that note, I'll say the same thing to everybody out there who says the same thing. I mean, many people here in the chats, and many of our friends have said that about the Acolyte, and I acknowledge that it's true. It is not without flaw. There are a couple things that I actually kind of cringed at on this rewatch, and I was like, oh, that was an interesting choice. Maybe they need a science advisor. But I challenge you to name me a single Star Wars entry that is without flaw. Empire? Maybe. Andor? Maybe. But no, I don't think so. I think that if you wanted to nitpick, you could find flaws in it. And it's, but we love it anyway. Right? Dude, preach. Preach. I lose so much sleep rewatching things. And that kind of brings up the whole bad writing thing. They talk about the writing being bad on Andor. No, it's not. I just got done binging the entire series, Fear the Walking Dead. I know what bad writing looks like, and the Acolyte isn't it. I said Andor, but no, I meant Acolyte. You should. I think binging is the best way to watch it. When the structure of the narrative becomes that complex, and it is complex, having to wait a week between episodes, you lose stuff. You're better off watching it in a fashion that enables you to determine how much time you have between episodes. So binging is really the best way to do the Acolyte. Ever since Disney stood up against the Florida Don't Say Gay bill, the creepy, weird guys on the internet have been feverish to destroy Disney. That's right. That's right. I'd forgotten all about that, but you're so right. That's why they relish in it. In the whole notion of the Acolyte failing, that they celebrate it on what's her name, Amandla, the main character. You know what I'm talking about. They celebrated it on her Instagram account. Terribly. They were awful to her. Did you guys see that bit where she came out onto the stage at Celebration, and she's all cosplay it up as Padme? I mean, just her whole vibe was just joyous. And I'm like, she just seems like such a cool cat, and I would love to have a beer with that girl and just talk to her. She just seems like she'd be so much fun. Need to clean this. Yeah, I just can't with you guys. Not you guys, but the fanboy guys. I question whether they're even real fans, if they're just chiming in to bitch about the Acolyte. It's like they're not even actual Star Wars fans, but they know that they recognize that the Acolyte is a vehicle that has chosen some diversity, equity, inclusion as part of their casting process, which I think is to be celebrated. And yeah, God, I just can't. It would be interesting to have an actual one-on-one, face-to-face chat with one of them, like in the same room. Not like bring somebody into this live stream and debate them, because I think even when you're live with somebody, there's like a barrier that protects. You don't get all the, like, I've got a pretty animated face, or I can have a pretty animated face at times. You don't get that. There's so much of our communication that comes from actually seeing the expressions on each other's faces, and you don't get that when you're just reading comments from some internet troll about everything Disney, and then get big hate boners to the idea of hurting it. That's so weird. Why would you live your life like that? If you do that, if that's the way you go through life, if that's how you choose to react to a freaking TV show, you need help. Yeah, you really need to get that looked at, because it's not normal. It's not healthy. And trust me, it's not welcome. You might have found some community of people like yourself who are similarly afflicted, but that doesn't make it better. When they say misery loves company, okay, that just kind of proves the point. But still, no, stop it. I get a break from pop culture when I'm at work in my hospital, but from your perspective, Terry, you never get a break from pop culture because of what you do for work. Thank you. Yeah, it was a very welcome break. And the funny thing is when I took that vacation a few weeks ago, the whole plan was to take an entire week off and not do anything pop culture. 2 days didn't go by before I was opening up and playing with a 6 scale figure. 2 days. It was such a weird experience, but I'm glad that I did it. Yeah, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons, but I'm only going to discuss one of them because we're already falling behind on things. It's already been half an hour. No, going on an hour. 2 reasons. One reason that we won't get Andor figures is because Andor happens over a long period of time, weeks, months, what have you, years. You never see the character in an iconic get-up. In every other Star Wars show and movie, there's an identifiable costume, much like Superman has his, Batman has his, Wonder Woman has hers. There's an identifiable costume that you can associate with that character during the entirety of the show. The only one that I can think of that's different from that would be like Amidala. And even Leia had costume changes, like 1, 2 in Jedi. Both of them in Jedi? No, Empire. And Jedi. Anyway, 3 costume changes in Jedi. And 1 costume change, then kind of back to the original costume at the end. But although the shoes were different, and that's how I was able to tell that wasn't the Hoth Leia figure that they used in that promo with the Chewbacca, with the Chewbacca figure. So we are apparently going to see Hot Toys produce a Bespin. What they can't call it Bespin Leia. Final Battle Leia. I don't know. Yeah, I thought so too, man. I don't know what's going on with that. I think that my camera might be just getting a little long in the tooth. Or maybe I just need to adjust my settings. Oh, I did. I adjusted my settings for work because there was some feedback that it was coming in too magenta. Yeah, that tracks. So I adjusted it the other direction, and now it's, yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to fix it right now. Screw that. I'm just going to be green today. It's not easy. Linda, how dare you? Kumar, what's up? Welcome back, buddy. It's been a long time since I saw you here. I think people took the Disney cancels the Acolyte too seriously. Looking at Disney's PR, I think they were happy with the viewership, but the production budget is just too high for the audience. Do you think that's it? I wish they'd come out and say so. I wish they'd come out and say so. I find the notion of a production budget for anything Star Wars being too high to be questionable, but at the same time, I recognize that none of us really, I don't think really most people have a full understanding of the structure, the structure of streaming services and how they make money. I mean, I know they make money off of subscriptions, but those subscriptions have to pay for a whole lot of content. So how does a streaming service actually make money off of a specific property? It's clear to me that we're not going to see any Hot Toys figures, for instance, from the Acolyte. I just don't see it happening. So that's a big chunk of change that Disney's not going to get. And if there are other companies that are choosing to forego the Acolyte, whether it's because they just don't find value in it or because they've heard everybody hating on it and they're just afraid that nobody's going to buy their stuff. Well, yeah. I enjoyed it overall, but hated that they killed the interesting characters. I also hated the bumbling way they treated the Jedi. Essential Section 31 inside of what? I don't know what that last bit was. But killing... First of all, they didn't kill all the interesting characters. Because I find that the whole, especially now that I'm watching it the third time around, I'm really finding the whole May and Osha dynamic to be pretty rich. And Kymir's one of the, I feel like Kymir's one of the best characters that we've seen in Star Wars. That's all down to the scripting and also the acting. The writing acting combo that happened with that character was just rich and so much fun. I don't know. I really want to see it. Hang on. I think that might have helped. Did that help? I think the green tint is gone. There's something going on with that light. Your suspect light. Anyway. But yeah, I don't think that... First of all, the killing of the characters was essential to keep the show interesting for me. That's what really made it feel like there was actually a threat there in what May and Kymir were doing. And I know that a lot of people were just mad that Carrie-Anne Moss's character was killed off like immediately, like the very first scene. But I kind of knew that they were going to bring her back. They had to bring her back at some point. I was delighted when I was proved right. So it's the nature of the story. It's a murder mystery, and on a certain level. And so that needs to happen. You need to have people being killed. It's a murder mystery / serial killer, kind of an effect, and told in flashback, which allows us to still have those characters. So it's not like we lost out on the characters for the entirety of the show. They're still there. We could still see flashback sequences with those characters if there were a second season. Just stuff that doesn't tell stories, provide anecdotes from Osha's time at the Academy, for instance. Or, it's back. It's back. The green tint is back. It left for like a minute and now it's back. Anyway. Just had an ADHD moment. So yeah, I don't know, that's my take on that. I understand that because it is disappointing when your favorite characters get killed off. But I could be pretty ruthless with the way that I look at characters, and I do enjoy good deaths. If the death contributes to the story, then I'm all for it. And in this case, the deaths were absolutely essential for the story. The thing of it is that usually in most films or television shows, when characters like that are killed off, especially in Star Wars, they're tertiary characters, or maybe even nameless characters that we never get to know. So we don't actually feel that. We don't actually feel the pain of losing them. But we clearly felt the pain, and you clearly felt the pain of losing. God, I don't want to say any names because there are people out there that still haven't seen it. I'll just come out and say it. Everybody freaking dies. But they have to. They have to die. Absolutely they have to die. Because, and that's legitimately the only reason that I can think of why they brought Mundi into the show. There's no reason to have Mundi in the show apart from that one line he says in The Phantom Menace. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium. Which, I think he said millennia, which is wrong. Yeah, that's bad writing, George. Anyway. And because of that one line that he says, his presence there is a clue as to the outcome of what's going to happen on that planet where they went to find Kilnaka. Not Kolnaka. Kilnaka. Which is a badass name, by the way. Badass Jedi. That fight scene with him. Oh! Wookiee Jedi. I want more. Anyway, I think I finished my thought on that. This has been my TED Talk. Yeah, he really does a great job. Both 1/6 shooter and Commander Green. Commander Green's come a long way. I mean, I was there hanging out with him when he was just getting started in figure photography, and I love watching his skills grow over time. It's brilliant. So if the story of those characters are going to go on, the format will just have to be adjusted to lower the budget. Okay, all right, yeah. Which technically it could. Yeah, maybe not on such a grand scale. I'm wondering if that's why Andor wound up getting only 2 seasons, because I know they originally intended to have multiple seasons of that show. Let's see. I'm also not a fan. Oh boy, do I have my knife? I might need to leave the screen and go find a cutting implement. Oh. Lightsaber. That won't work. Yeah, let's find out. No. Although I did try aggressive inline at one point on a ramp. Took one fall and I was like, no. No. Alright, so I was able to use my fingernail because I haven't trimmed my fingernails for a week. Which means I'm going to get called out. Okay. Oh, it's got lights and sounds? Freaking rad! Alright, let's open this thing. Rad. I said it again, didn't I? Yeah. Oh god, I really want to get through these comments before I open up another one, and it's going quite far down because I'm talking a lot. I heard you might have a chance for some photos with a fictional military attack helicopter at some point in the near future. Can I... Text me, Mike. Are you okay with me talking about this? I don't know if there's any reason why I shouldn't talk about it, but on the just erring on the side of caution, I don't want to reveal anything that I need to keep secret. But if you're fine with me talking about it, then yeah. Text me. Let me know. Give me the answer. Don't put it in the chats because I won't get to it for like another hour. All right, finally getting around to unboxing this. This is okay. First of all, the figures. The minifigs it comes with are Hera, Kanan, Sabine, and Zeb. Here's Zeb Aurelius. Said his full name. Little tiny guys. That's going to be a lot of fun. And this is another one of those that you can actually. Oh, I am going to need a cutting implement because that just won't. Unless I can break it. Okay, scissors it is. BRB. Okay. The one thing about living in a small house is that nothing's ever far away. And the thing about the Micro Galaxy Squadron is that they're so affordable for what they are that I don't feel sad about... I don't lose any sleep over throwing away the packaging. About the disposable nature of the packaging and all that. It's, let's make sure I can... Yeah. Alright. You legitimately have to study the clamshells to figure out the most strategic way to unpack these things. I might just cut this one up. Ugh. Makes me nervous. Yeah, dudes, my white balance is all over the place, and I think that it must be set on auto. So let's fix that. Screw it. Yep, it's on auto. There. Oh. That's funny that it actually shows the menu when I do that. Isn't that wild? That's what Mike says, that he's okay with me talking about this offer that I have, but do I want it to be a surprise? No, I'm just going to talk about it. Why not? Eventually, I'll get around to it. So here's what Mike's talking about. Look how heavy those panel lines are on this thing. There's some serious. That was a seriously heavy wash that they put in there just to really accentuate them, and I question that, and I also question the saturation of the colors because I don't recall the Ghost being that colorful. I think that, and I think again, in their defense, I think that it varies because it is a digital asset on screen, and I think that it varies from scene to scene. There are some scenes where I see more of these colors, and it's usually when the Ghost is parked somewhere at rest. And I feel like that's the bit that they went for. Usually when it's in flight in space, it's much more, the colors are much more, I don't want to say washed out, but they're much more muted. Yeah, just look at this thing. I'm guessing the turret rotates. Oh, it doesn't seem to. It opens though. I can't tell if it rotates or not, but that's going to be fun because you can put one of the little guys in there. And I want to say typically it's Chopper's usually, no, Chopper gets into the Phantom. This is going to be fun once I get that Phantom in, because you can dock the Phantom into the Ghost. And it'll be interesting if they actually have they done the Phantom too? Does anybody know? I would like to find out. This is going through the comments again. This is going back to the this is going to be the most ADHD episode of this show that I've ever done. I can already tell, which is weird because I've legitimately had my Adderall today, which I don't usually take Adderall on a Saturday. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Divide and conquer. Russians. Yeah. Russian assets. I don't have any patience for anybody who wants to mess with, who wants to like take a. I don't have patience for Russia. Political. I've got no problem with the people by and large. We may not align politically, whatever, in certain aspects. But individual Russians, no. But what Russia is doing right now is just, and I know that's not what this show is, and I try to avoid talking about it at all times. But what Russia is doing in Ukraine right now, we need to be paying more attention to that. Ukraine is legitimately the breadbasket of Europe. And Russia's hurting for that kind of stuff. They don't want that. They don't want that to be taken away from them. They want to grab that because legitimately the way that the population increase is going right now, our food production globally needs to be ramped up a good 50% just to feed everybody at this point. And the world needs Ukraine to be a free Ukraine so that, because if Russia gets control of that, you can bet your ass they're going to jack up the prices on anything that gets produced there. And when the prices get jacked up from produce from Ukraine, then it's going to go up all over the world. People will starve if this happens. This is huge. This is like Gaza level huge. But anyway, enough about that. Yeah, more about this. All right, so what else can this thing do? That's okay. The landing gear folds down like that. I almost took it too far. There we go. And the third one is permanently down. So I guess it's just, oh no, wait, there's another one. Oh my God. I'm 53 goddamn years old, and I'm still almost as excited about toys as I was when I was 12. It's absurd. hence my name. Yeah, I enjoyed Solo. I think it ranks near. Oh, my music's over. I was doing Epidemic Disco. Now I've got to find some more. Ooh, let's go. Let's rock. That'll get us another 30 minutes. No, that wasn't such a good idea. Let's just shuffle this one. Okay, but not that one. That's too energetic. I'm much more chill today than that. Okay, moving back along. Yeah, I like the Solo film. I think there was a lot of infighting on that one, right? The original directors got fired. Ron Howard came on and did the best that he could with it. Kept some of their stuff in, added some more stuff in. I don't think anybody has the inside scoop on that unless they were actually working on the film. But I would have liked to have seen a pure version of it, Lord and Taylor's version, or Howard's version, and not a mix of the two. It felt like a movie that didn't know what it wanted to be to me. I need to go back and rewatch it because, like I say, you find value in things when you rewatch things. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know about all the politics, but hate the ethos of the series, but nothing against those who love it. Yeah, whatever. I just want to let you know there's a slight lag in the stream. Not sure if it's just me, though. Glad to be here. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. That does sometimes happen. It's usually not really noticeable. I'm looking at it right now, and I can see it. I can see it happening. So I don't know what's causing it. Hopefully next time. Yeah. Oh, has it really? Well, then it might be worth getting. It would be if I had space for it. That looks amazing, dude. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Yes, I was doing it out of love, except for the Darth Vader video that I had to do on one of my vacation days because I just didn't get it done before my vacation, and it needed to be done. My long shot hope is that Andor will end season 2 in the Rogue One year, so Hot Toys may finally do a Rogue One Andor. Yeah, there are other reasons, and I'll discuss them with you privately. Reach out to me in Messenger or something, I'll talk to you about that privately. Because I don't want to say anything online, live. Oh, is Harold here? Yeah, that would be a good name for it. What's this? Terry got some Fallout Going Green rad damage, and I'm digging it. Yeah, sorry, man. Steve is here. What's up? How are things across the big pond? Just going to bring this discussion in, more on the discussion we were having earlier. But, yeah, but not to pile on. I can't remember who it was that left the comment, but not to pile on. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah. I'm with you 100% on this comment. I'm just sitting here holding this thing like it's a serving plate. Is there no steaks? Yeah, exactly. Steaks is actually the word that I was looking for. I was actually just watching a YouTube short where they're interviewing him, and he actually said he's not a good writer. You know, he knew it. He had to. He recognized that writing is an essential part of the directing process. To be a good director, you have to be a writer. And so that's why he wound up writing American Graffiti and writing after that. It's just his understanding. I don't get it, but his understanding of it is that it's important to write your own material. He's a big proponent of what do they call it, pure cinema. Like in an ideal world, he would do every aspect of it if he could, but instead he's got to make it a collaborative process, just because that's the way that it works. Oh, that's another hot take that I'm aware of. But I think that's just wishful thinking. I'm just going to set the ghost down over here. We're time to test out the landing gear. Works. Yeah, I would kind of appreciate that. The Acolyte would be the first story. And then, I don't know, they would name, I don't even know what the story would be for the next season, but they would have to name it something completely different. Like The Apprentice. I don't know. And then the next would be The Master? I don't know. But I feel like because there have been statements from the cast that suggests that it has been canceled for that reason. Let's skip that song. First of all, it's loud. Yeah. I'd like to remind current Disney Star Wars haters who think George Lucas was flawless people. They made a movie called The People versus George Lucas because they hated his Star Wars so much. Yeah. And now it's... The haters from the prequels have grown silent. Whether it's because they've had a change of heart over time, they've matured, they're less angry in general, or because they're paying attention to other things, or maybe they're just focusing their hate on the Acolyte now. I don't know. There are people who just like, if it's not OT, then it's not for me. Okay, that's great. I was thinking about it this way. Because I've been unfollowing, unfriending, and blocking people who only contribute negativity to my social media posts. Like if I don't hear from you for years and then you chime in with some negative comment about the Acolyte, I'm like, wait a minute, who are you? I've legitimately done that. I remember there was one in particular. I was like, who are you? Because I've friended so many people that I've never met because of this whole thing, and I'm like, wait, who are you? Yeah, sorry. Because here's the way I look at it. Here's the analogy. If I had a party at my place and just said, yeah, come hang out. Everybody, come hang out if you want to hang out. It'll be fun. Just told my entire neighborhood, come over here, hang out. And somebody showed up who I never met or was only casually aware of, acquainted with, or whatever, and even if it was like a close friend, I don't think I tolerate this kind of behavior. But if somebody came over to my house in a party where everybody was gushing about the collectibles, say for instance, and we were just all enthusiastically talking about collecting and figures and Star Wars and Marvel and DC and what have you, and then some guy shows up, takes one look around, and is just like, oh, this shit is stupid, and started going off and expounding about why he doesn't like Star Wars, I'd be like, you're welcome to leave. And if I said that to them, and then they continued to just be that way, repeating what they've already said, yeah, we get it, you don't like it. You don't have to keep telling us you don't like it every single time the subject gets brought up. We know. Then, eventually you would be asked to leave. So that's my take on it. And that's why I wield my ban hammer with reckless abandon. So, yeah. I don't care. If that's all you've got to contribute, I don't care. My only thing about the Micro Galaxy Ghost is that it's about 60% the size of the Lego Ghost. I would personally rather have the Lego Ghost. Yeah. Yeah, this is legitimate. I get that. And I would love to have the HasLab Ghost. But this is perfect for me. I can find room for this. The Ghost is such a massive ship, and I already have a big Star Wars ship in the form of the D'Agostini Millennium Falcon, which I haven't assembled yet. So, yeah, this will have to do. And again, multiple scales. Once all the other characters start coming in from Ahsoka, the 6 Go figures from Ahsoka, I mean, this can live hanging from the ceiling above a display with all those great characters. Whereas a bigger Ghost, yeah, I couldn't find room for that. Congratulations for everybody who has awesome real estate. I myself do not. Liza, I got the Ghost at Target. Shocked the hell out of me. Shocked the hell out of me. I don't pay attention. I just know that these things exist as they come out. So I was thrilled to see it. Like there was no way. I got greener? No, I think I'm better now, right? Yeah, Imagine that. I don't, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care. I think that if, at the end of the day, if I was nitpicking, then I would just be like, no. Like, this might be something that that drives some people away from purchasing it, but I'm not one of those people. It doesn't need to be perfect. I think that's a really healthy attitude to have. So if you haven't adopted that attitude, then perhaps you should. What are the pieces that come off? There we go. The whole damn top comes off. Look at that. Told you this was going to be an ADHD episode, guys. I know, I'm all over the map, but look at this! Oh my god, the detail. That's insane. Check out... Okay, I'm going to see if I can catch this. This is on this side, so it needs to be this way. Zoom in on this, if I can. I don't think the depth of field will let me, but you can barely see, but over here, you can legitimately see Sabine's paintings on the wall of that cabin. Her artwork is very prominent. There's that great painting that she did of, who's all in it? It's it's the entire Ghost fam. Yeah, there's a painting in there on the wall. Microscopic detail. It's absurd. Just right... Oh god, I hate doing things backwards. Okay, it's right here. Yeah, this whole having to do things backwards when you're on camera is a pain for me. It's like the same reason that I don't drive things with trailers, because that whole thing where you have to, when you're reversing, you have to steer in the opposite direction that you want the trailer to go. I never could master that. So many times I almost destroyed the boats of friends. Oh, get out! Really? Well, that looks... You can add shit, but you can't take it away. So I might have to do a wash on my Phantom when it gets here. Oh, does it really? Son of a bitch. I'm gonna buy it again. Might be that I'll buy it again, and I'll give this one away on the show. That could be fun. Yeah, if it comes off in sections, no, it's a solid piece, which is also detailed. They didn't have to add that detail in there, but they did. How many toys like this have you seen where it's just like slick plastic on the bottom, probably with some writing letters on it, or even some seams from the molds. A healthy attitude that I totally expect from Dr. Hassing. I don't have to be in love with all Star Wars products. The world will go undisturbed by my meh feelings for Solo. I think, yeah, it's important to understand that. And yeah, well done. I'd be here for this. The fact that we saw Darth Plagueis and that we're not gonna, if we don't get a follow-up, I don't want to go so far as to call it tragic, but it's very disappointing. And that's part of the reason why I feel like a lot of these haters, because it does seem like my friend Darren Carnell, you guys might know him. He's a custom figure painter and statue painter. Really, really good at his craft. Looks a lot like Santa Claus, especially when he puts on a Santa suit. But he got a comment. He commented on the Acolyte, I think it was, on a Star Wars social media account, and somebody replied to him, you know, it's because of people like you, they're going to keep making stuff like this. Great. Don't threaten me with a good time. Because seriously, it almost seems that comment makes it feel like the goal is to get Disney to stop making Star Wars. Because they have such a loathing for everything that Disney has done in Star Wars that their goal is just to get Disney to stop making Star Wars. And I have lived in the dark times, my friend. That is not something that you want to happen. That's a tight reference. Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, man! What's going on, Prentice? Good to see you. It came from a cartoon, right? It's the way it is. It's gotta have to be that way. I agree. Totally nice. Bad Wolf again. I would never try to dissuade anyone from buying this. As I said, it broke my heart to cancel it before myself. I would just look at it and be mildly disappointed every time. Yeah, and that's fine. You're obviously free to have standards. Yeah, I get it. To your credit, you're not bashing me for buying it. And that's what separates you from the assholes. Yeah, it's so impressive. Wait until you see the next one. Thank you for bringing up the name of the company, because I've been trying to think of the name of the company that makes Micro Galaxy Squadron for the entirety of this live stream, and it just totally escaped me. Oh, are they making them? Is Hot Toys making Ghostbusters? Or are you just making a request? Started playing Star Wars Legion. Can't believe I pronounced that accurately. Usually I pronounce it Legion, like things on your skin. My favorite figure so far has to be Cad Bane. Next up is the Empire Rebellion core set. That's rad. That's rad. I've never been into that kind of games. Like, what's the one that what's his name is into? Warhammer. Yeah, there's just way too much focus required and way too much time. Thank you. Yeah. I would love a new animated show, but it doesn't seem to be the direction that they're headed, and I don't understand why. Again, it's probably financial. They're in the middle of a weird state right now. Now that Iger's back on board, they're reevaluating things, I think, and we'll just have to see the direction that it goes. But we have a season of the Acolyte, and it's a lovely, lovely show, and I think that Skeleton Crew is going to be a lot of fun. Not that I have inside info or anything. No, I probably shouldn't show it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. And I don't even think I'm done looking at it yet. I don't think it's... I need to find out where the batteries go. Yeah, there's the Jark table in there and everything. It's got everything. They recreated the Ghost in its entirety, except for we don't have... You can't see the... You can see the door to get into the back area here, which holds the docking bay, I guess, the way to the docking bay. If ever one of these things needed instructions, it's this one. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that pops off. Yeah, you can drop Zeb down into the turret. Lights and sounds. There's apparently a button here. Jolly candy-like button. The Phantom is not included. More's the pity. And you can dock Y-wings. Okay, the front hatch folds down. That's cool. And the... Yeah, well, the top turret doesn't appear to swivel. The other turrets do. What's this? I'm just trying to understand what I'm seeing here. Okay, let me see. They showed this doing something and I can't figure out what it was. Looks like this comes out. Hope it's supposed to. Yeah, they're both loose in there. If only I had a table nearby. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can take... This is how this works. You take this part out of the side with the dock, the airlock, and you flip it, and you put it back in, and that's how you get the the Y-wings to dock. Isn't that cool? Looks really delicate, but then, I don't know, sometimes so do I. I was just having a conversation, and apparently I suffer from something that a lot of ADHD people suffer from, and it's called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Which might also explain why I get so mad at toxic fanboys. But yeah, I just reconnected with a friend that yeah. Actually, that's not even important. I'm not going to talk about that here. So how do you get it back on, is the question. Just like that. And it happened off camera. It happens. You can. I believe Disney taking over, we're getting a lot of more Star Wars material. Not sure why a Star Wars fan needs to hate them. People should keep ideology and entertainment separately. I feel like, and I think you're right, I feel like a lot, not all, but a lot of the detractors for the Acolyte are, what's this? This is work. My boss was asking me to make corrections on a posing video for a figure, and I was like, can you do that? Can you do this since you're working today? I'm like, yeah, I'd be glad to, but I didn't do that video. And he finally got back to me. He's like, I'm just now waking up. Well, when he messaged me, it was like 2 hours ago and more. So it had to be like 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday there. Boss, go back to bed, man. You've earned it. Yeah. Anyway. So that's that one. Just toss this over here. Now. A few more comments, then we'll open up the AT-TE. Checking the time. I've got 30 minutes. Looks like it's not going to be an hour-long show. It will, in fact, be 2 hours. Oh, yeah, I was talking to Kumar, was it? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's probably, and I don't know how significant of a percentage of these people that it would be, but I feel like there's, like, I think it was Desmond was talking about, there are people out there who are just hell-bent on bringing Disney down after what went down in Florida. The Don't Say Gay bill. And the rhetoric coming from the governor down there. It's really pathetic. And I think that at the Acolyte, at least in part, the review bombing, it got caught up in that review bombing because of that. Just this big umbrella of just hate towards Disney in general. These people are just legitimately hating on anything that Disney comes out, review bombing anything that Disney comes out with. Especially if it's woke. I ain't got time for that. If we're calling out figures we want to be made, why hasn't anyone picked up the Doctor Who license? Well, I'm sure you're aware, but Big Chief Studios had it for a while. You're aware of that, right? Are you suggesting that why hasn't anybody picked it up since they closed up shop? I don't think there was a lot of money in it. I pay attention to what Nanjing Tam has to say about the Star Trek license, about how hard it is to actually make money off of the Star Trek license. And I feel like Star Trek has a much more rabid fan base filled with people of means who would be more likely to buy a $250 action figure from that series. So, in all honesty, I'm surprised the Big Chief was able to keep going as long as they did, making those Doctor Who figs. I celebrate the fact that they did. The final round, especially, the final round of figures that they did, amazing. Amazing. They came a long way. The only show I had an issue with was doing a little kid show about younglings. I'm like, you know how that is going to end? Oh, God, I never thought about it that way. Wow, yeah. I think the only thing that I didn't really get behind 100% was probably Rebellion? Is that what the animated show was called? Which was clearly much more for kids and of a sort of animation that I don't really connect with. But I'm sure there were a lot of people out there who did connect with that show. And again, there were moments of it that were just great. But there was a silliness to some of the vocal acting that I associate with more of an animated series devoted to kids shows. Devoted to kids. Shows that are devoted to kids. And so I just couldn't connect with it. That doesn't mean that I didn't watch every episode, because I did watch every episode. Because, again, I was starved for Star Wars content for so long that I'm just like, I'll take the saltine and the Ritz cracker, thank you very much. That could be interesting. The road to the sequels, which is kind of what they're doing with the live-action shows, but it's beginning 7 years after Return of the Jedi, so there's that 7-year window between Mandalorian and Jedi when that could happen. Yeah, I could get behind that. I did start talking about helicopter photo session. Let me interrupt again, just to say, yeah, this is really funny. The whole instructions thing was just an act for the show. I feel comfortable saying that now. In fact, I'm starting to feel guilty about the fact that I don't include the instruction sheet in my conversations about the figures in first looks. So I think I need to start doing that, because somebody worked hard on those instructions. That's their job, and I'm highlighting everything about that figure but the instruction sheet. So yeah, that's something I need to consider. And thank you. Actually, while I always did use instructions, it took Paul Lee to make me realize, oh yeah, that's somebody's work, and it probably should be celebrated. Oh, is that right? Okay. Wow, so there's more than one thing happening in the High Republic, apart from comic books and books, I mean. I can't bring myself to watch it. Nobody lives happily ever after, my friend. Alas. I'm one of those people, I know there's like a debate. If you could live forever, would you want to? At what age would I stop aging? If my body stopped aging at like 30, I'd be fine with it. Yeah. Yeah, I would totally live forever, man. I'm gonna miss out on so much stuff by dying. It annoys the hell out of me. Anyway, so. Alright. My good friend Mike from Bad Wolf Media approached me last night on the way out. And first of all, he has an idea for the show. So something we're gonna collaborate on for this show. And I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But also, apparently Mike's wife has to undergo surgery in the relatively near future. And that surgery has been scheduled for a night in which he was supposed to photograph a concert in Chicago. And that show that he was supposed to photograph is Iron Maiden. And he's got an invite, but he can't use it. So he's handing it off to me. He has asked me if I would be interested in photographing Iron Maiden from the pit. And I have said yes. Are you kidding me? Yeah, beyond a shadow of a doubt, man. I'm all into that. So yeah, I've got to polish up some of my gear. I've got to polish up some of my skills, and that reminds me, dude, I'm going to need some pointers on, camera settings. Because I don't want to screw this up at all. So yeah, apparently I'm going to get to photograph Iron Maiden and fulfill my highest concert bucket list item of seeing Iron Maiden live from the front row. All in. I'm not going to say no to that one. It's going to be a hell of an experience. Just hope I live long enough to see it. Nothing's happening. I'm just, car crash, plane crashes into my house while I'm sleeping, that kind of a thing. What a way to go. Any ship with a droid point should be able to socket into the side like that X-Wing you have. Oh, really? I totally believe you. But I'm playing with my toys. Okay. Let's do this again. Yeah, you legitimately have to take the top off to do that. Which I'm fine with. Yeah, there's really no other way to do it. Because of the system, the way that the system is set up. That's being held together by that top. So you have to take the top off. And it's fine. There's no way that they could have done it and made it easier. Alright, so let's pop that off. And spin it around. And drop it back in. Put the top back on. Come them drums, here come them drums. Come on, Ghost, you can do it. I missed a tab. Locked and loaded. Yeah, baby! Okay, it goes in there, but it doesn't lock in. So yeah, it fits. You can do it. What? That is so rad. Man, have they done a B-Wing for Micro Galaxy Squadrons? Because that is one of my favorite ships. And I didn't pick up the A-Wing, and I don't know why. There we go. Now we're locked in. Oh, these are the buttons for the sounds. Found them. And now I just need to figure out where the batteries go. Enough of that nonsense. Let's finish up these comments so I can open up that AT-RT. Thanks, Mike. That's a hot tip. I don't know what this means. Oh, was she... What was her gig? Was she an editor? I've forgotten that part of the lore. Yeah, I think I've already showed off my sonic screwdriver, my Matt Smith sonic screwdriver, which is amazing and falling apart. That's it, resistance. Oh, that's bitchin'. I just found out, I just saw a video clip where he admits that when he goes into a store, like a supermarket, with a sliding door, he legitimately will do this, and that he legitimately hopes that people see him do it. He wants people to see him do it. I mean, imagine if somebody actually caught that on camera, just candidly caught it on camera. Oh, that's bitchin'. Wonder if he's gonna have my old buddy Kevin on there. I know he went over to Jazzwares after he left Sideshow. Yeah, that'll win him over. My thoughts on RDJ coming back to the MCU's Doom is cautiously... They dance back and forth between skeptical and cautiously optimistic. If there's a great way that they can factor that into the story, because you can't do it and not acknowledge the fact that that's the guy that he looks like Tony Stark. You just can't. So there has to be, and I'm guessing it's a multiversal conundrum that makes it happen. I'm just excited that Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom are coming to the MCU. I have treasured the times that I've collected Fantastic Four in the past. Some of the best comic book stories that I've read have been through there. And I'm talking about the stuff like in the Hickman days, all the way back to when John Byrne was on the book. God, who else? I think Matt Fraction. Was it Matt Fraction? Or was it Jason Aaron who had some time there? I don't know. Maybe it was only Hickman. But that's actually Fantastic Four was when I first became aware of Jonathan Hickman. In fact, a year or so after he started, I met him at Comic-Con, and I remember saying, "You are a effing madman. Keep on doing what you're doing. Never change." And I don't say that kind of stuff to anybody. That would be... Well, they were already kind of doing that, I think, with Rogue Squadron. And it got shit canned. So, as a live action, obviously, but as an animated series, it could work. Again, I'm waiting with bated breath to find out what Disney's going to do next, because legitimately every single thing that's been announced, from the Rey movie to various shows, has either been chopped or could still potentially be chopped. There's even Ahsoka season 2 could possibly not happen. I mean, I guess the Mandalorian movie is moving forward. It's probably too late to pull out of that, but I mean, who knows? This is an age where companies have found it more profitable to complete a movie and then never release it than to actually push it through and make what little money they can. They get more in tax breaks for that kind of thing now, which is so wild to me. So wild. I legitimately thought this said more divorce voices. That can tell what's on my mind. Disney allowed more diverse voices to play in the Star Wars universe, but when they express excitement about that, there is a hateful backlash. Nasty. Who wouldn't be excited? Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, I had to unpack that a little bit and try to figure out what you were trying to say. But yeah, I think I'm on board with you, and I totally agree. I am talking about Amandla. Seriously, man, she is just. She's my queen. Okay. That's good to know. It is pretty neat. It is pretty neat. I'm glad I got it. I honestly don't know. Oh, yeah? Is that right? Okay. Well, maybe they'll get around to it someday. There's no shortage of things for them to draw from. You know what's on my bucket list? What I really wish that I had is Sabine's TIE Fighter, the TIE Fighter that Sabine painted up. That would be choice. But I went to 3 different places looking for it specifically when I heard that it was showing up at Ross in one night, and I was like, that's enough time to put in a hunt for that. I'm not a toy hunter. I don't love it that much to dive in, to take that much time to do it. There are other things that I would rather do with my time. Kudos to anybody who got it, because that is a sweet looking ship. Well, that's the other thing, is that Doom's face is horribly scarred. That's why he wears the mask. So it's possible that he'll just be in heavy makeup. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, maybe so. That was a fun ride. The Brian Michael Bendis run where he did the Doom Limited series. That was amazing. Infamous Iron Man, I think it was called. Did I get the hardcover for that? I need to if I haven't. The last update on Road Squadron is that Patty Jenkins is back to updating the next draft of the script. Shut the hell up! Where did I hear that it was canceled? That is hot. That is great news, my friend. Thank you for doing what I should have done and researching it before I spoke. Fantastic. Back to Marcia. Oh, deserves a co-writer credit. Marcia has Academy Awards for A New Hope and ASP. Wow. Wow, rad. And I remember right that Doom has a very minor scar and he sees himself as horribly disfigured. That's it. That's it. It's not minor. It's just like, I think it's just like one big scar. But, yeah, that's right. It's been too long since I've read comic books, my friends. Now that I'm no longer, it just got too expensive. I'll say it. $5 a book. With the number of books you really should read in order to keep up with it, they keep. I don't want to be so unkind as to say force feeding, but they keep releasing these mega events multiple times a year now. It's not even like they're doing it like once every blue moon. But I want to say Marvel does, like, at the time that I walked away, they were doing easily 2 mega events per year, if not more. Probably some that I was missing. And I feel like in an attempt to boost sales by creating need for people to keep up with all these books, and combine that with the cost of the books as they stand today, they're killing the comic book industry. I feel like mega events are killing the comic book industry. A lot of them are really hard to follow, even if you do pick up everything. I think the last one that I followed rabidly was the Hickman-led Secret Wars, which was great, but it damn near broke me, both in terms of money and time, to try to keep up with it all. Oh, that book Thor's? The Thor Corps? I think it was what it was called. Man, that was great. So some of it has value, I agree. Oh, that's cool. There's oh, so this thing comes with a bark speeder and a little stand to put it on. Let's see. How does this work? Interesting. Not the direction I would have thought it would go. So you can have your bark speeder floating, on a little acrylic stand there. Let's hold it from here so it actually focuses on the bike. And there are plenty of clones that you can put on there. They come with a Captain Rex. It's all taped in there. I didn't do that. That was a flub. Yeah, so you got 3 clone troopers, as well as Captain Rex and a clone pilot. So that's fun. So I'm going to set that aside for now and see if I can't unpack this without just eyeballing the gun turrets. Oh, there's one more. I almost did break the gun. The main turret is locked in up front. I'm gonna have to vacuum when I get done with this. I got little plastic bits falling everywhere. What's this? Oh, it's a plastic bit. There's definitely a lag going on, and I apologize for that for viewers. Well, this is much easier to get out than I'd anticipated. That's good. Ah, rad. Oh, that's freaking cool. Okay, first of all, I'm just gonna say how excited I am that this actually wiggles back and forth, because that is screen accurate and important. The turrets, of course, are posable. Up and down. Do they do left and right? Yeah, to an extent. We'll just call it limited articulation in that regard. Which is fine. I don't think that the guns actually turn that far in the show. This guy does rotate. Bitchin'. Get a clone in there, definitely. And the quad cannons up front. That's rad. Let's move this aside so that we can lift this guy up, I'm assuming. Or does it go the other way? Yeah, I can see the hinge. Okay. Instructions are important. I'm just going to bring this over here right now. There we go. Oh, the whole damn thing comes off. That's dope. Yeah. That's just rad. Okay, that opens up like that. So you can see inside the cockpit where there's room for a pilot and another clone. So yeah, it just makes sense to just go ahead and... Hang on, I was looking at something there. I feel like something's missing. Yeah, you just go ahead and take the figures out and just put them on the stuff, right? And then this back piece comes off, allegedly. Make sure I'm getting this right. Pop it off the sides there. Free it. Oh my god, it even articulates this way. Look at this. Look at that. You could straight up have it climbing up a wall. Or going toe-to-toe with an AT-AT. Like they did in the, it's fun. Why would you not open these? Just kidding, I know why. Nobody answered that. That was rhetorical. Okay. It's a happy, jaunty tune, but it's a bit... I'm not in that mood. Oh my god, yeah, you can put more clones in there. I do have more clones because I bought several LAATs. So I could feasibly fill this thing up. Wow. That's a lot of fun. What else does it say I can do? Oh, it holds up to 2 speeders, and you can actually, where do they go? They just go in the back there. Oh! Dropped it. Be right back. Alright, here we go. Okay, there are inside this back cargo area, you can see that there are 2 tabs. Backwards. But you can see that there are 2 tabs here. And you can straight up mount your bark speeder onto either of those 2 tabs. And I do have multiple bark speeders because, again, LAATs. So I might just fill this thing up with a couple of LAATs. Or, I'm sorry, bark speeders. Look at that. Isn't that neat? You can get your clones in there. That's fun. Holds up to 11 figures. You can get 2 in the front. Sitting in front of each other. There's space over here if I ever get this piece off. There we go. There's side pieces that come off. That makes sense. I was trying to figure out how that would work with the gun, the turret. Use the proper word. Okay, so you can also get. There's room on each side here for 2 passengers and a gunner for these turrets. And let's see, what else am I missing here? Yeah, a gunner up in this turret, and then 2 in the back end. Wow. Now the real challenge for me of this walker is you really need to study how this thing moves in order to get the leg positioning correct. I remember doing that when I got the Hasbro version. I do have a Hasbro AT-TE downstairs, which is great toy. Probably going to sell it. But, yeah. It does so many great things. Oh, yeah. Ratcheted joints that allow it to twist and turn and do all kinds of crazy beetle-like motions. Fucking wow. Alright. I can see why Paulie gets so jazzed about these things. It's they're a lot of fun. And now that I've kind of dived into this world a little bit. I'm not diving, I'm just kind of dangling my toes in the water. But I see it, I understand it. As somebody, like, the ships of Star Wars have always been one of the stronger reasons why I've gotten into the shows. Millennium Falcons, X-Wings, Y-Wings. My love for Y-Wings knows very few bounds. Alright, get that on there, get that on there. Lock it tight. Yeah, let's return this thing to its glory. I think that's done. I think that includes the unboxing segment for today. I just have to remember how this goes. There we go. Yeah, it goes there. This one goes there. That one goes there. Right? There was another Star Wars quote that I used last night, and I can't remember what it was. But I was really proud of it. Sometimes I'll drop a Star Wars quote when I'm speaking to new people, just to see if they catch it. No, and I swear I don't judge when they don't. Alright, so let's set this up here. I love having fun. Alas, the fun can't last very much longer because I'm getting very sensitive to the fact that I have work to do. I'm kind of excited to do it too because today is basically going to be spent packing up and returning figures to Sideshow. Yeah, and it's really been getting out of hand. There's so many figures downstairs. It's like, it looks like the warehouse from Indiana Jones. It does, and I can't continue living like that. And my boss has been kind enough to allow me to return some of them, which are things that I never thought I'd say. But I'm excited because it does mean that perhaps I am not, in fact, the figure hoarder that my ex-wife thought I was. I know when to say enough. Man, look, isn't it cool? Let's get him up here. Yeah, just dock it. Somebody left a comment on one of my videos. I can't remember if it was a personal video. It was a personal video. It was the video about how to fix loose joints on Iron Man figures. And it was one of those comments where it was basically, for the amount of money these cost, the joints should never become loose. And I try to be patient with that, because I know that it's a comment that comes out of ignorance. But the fact of the matter is that when it comes to anything that's made with plastic, it's going to wear out over time. That's why Hot Toys has implemented ratchets in a lot of the new figure bodies, because over time these figures just, the more you manipulate them, the more you articulate them and play with them, the more likely they are to wear out and become a bit floppy. And that's just the nature of plastic. There's not a plastic in the world that will not wear out when it's rubbed up against other plastic. Just the way that it goes. If there is, I'm sure that it's so cost prohibitive that imagine how much these figures would cost if they used it. I don't even know. I'm no plastics engineer, although there were moments where I wish that I had become one. Yeah, it's not the same experience for me. A lot of people have subscribed to the Marvel digital service, and it has enriched their comic reading world. I myself, I can't do it that way. I have to be able to flip. I have to actually feel that texture of the paper beneath my hands. That's why I've tried e-readers for books to see if that would help me to get back into reading, but no, I just can't do it. I've tried reading on my iPad. I've tried the Kindle, all of it. And I wish I could, because it would definitely, I just got a library card. No more buying books. I'm only going to check them out if I ever get back into reading. But anyway. I just sent an email and got an out-of-office response because the person is out for the 4th of July. I would be giving them hell. This little bit of ribbing for that one, man. I hope you do. How do you still have a job? You've been out since the 4th of July? Hey, I need to get moving. Life is calling. Hope you all have a great day. Yeah, same here. See you, Christopher. Have a good one. Yeah. Just gonna follow up on all these comments, get to the end, and then we're gonna go. Everybody's leaving. TIE Interceptor for the win? I'll back that up. I remember the first time I saw a TIE Interceptor, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Right? It was a good day. Those were good days. Oh, bitchin'. Everybody's got things to do. Feels like we're actually doing this at just the right time. DS9, we're still on here. I bet those were cool, even for their time, right? You know, I tried. I was legitimately sitting on the porch with all these boxes for the UPS guy to pick up, and he didn't get there until, he wound up not getting there until like 8:30, I think is when he finally dropped off. Not entirely sure. Okay. Yeah, even human joints wear out. I mean, come on. Getting back to my original comment about that comment. This is also an ADHD moment that is manifested in an actual comment. It's great. All right. Oh my God. I actually have very real plans or hopes to sell my comic book collection. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. I mean, obviously, if you take it to a comic shop, they'll take it off of your hands, but they'll also give you pennies on the dollar for what they're worth. So what I'm thinking about doing is just making a long-term process where I allocate a particular amount of time every week to organize, pack up, like 12-issue runs or 10-issue runs, 12-issue runs of a book, and sell them as a lot on eBay, and just list them as, I don't know, fine condition. I don't even know what that would be, like CGC 7.5, because all my books are at least 7.5 or better. So if I like list them at 7.5, then I'll just get and then show them, like show them photos of them, and they'll just be like, that book's not 17 point. That book's not 7.5, bro. That's a 9 right there, easy. Then yeah, they'll bid on what they say. But it's just going to take a really long time because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of them down there. I just have to commit to it. And I have to decide if I want to sell the really valuable ones first, which I think is probably the best bet. Sell the valuable ones first, and then the rest that aren't worth anything, maybe those are the ones I take to a comic book shop. They can get them for their 50-cent bin or whatever. All right, guys. That was a wild ride of a show. I was all over the map, and I apologize for that. But I hope everybody is able to keep track. I don't even know how I would divide this show into chapters. It would be very hard to. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. I think we had like 30 people in there, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, I hope you all have a great week. I hope to be back next weekend, but as with all things in my life right now, that's up in the air. And because I do have a party to go to the night before, and a gallery show. And let me see more comments here. So until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and be good to your plastic. Later, peeps.